Antihypertensive drugs are the important group of drugs in cardiovascular system. We have seen about the classification of antihypertensive drugs. Under that, it can be told as ABC drugs. That means angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor group of drugs, and then beta blockers, sympatholytics, and then calcium channel blockers, C group of drugs, diuretics, D group of drugs. The last group in this is vasodilators. The major group of drugs which are used in emergency hypertension is this vasodilators group of drugs. So about these vasodilators, we are going to see in detail in today's PowerPoint. Vasodilators. It can be divided as arterial as well as venal dilators. In venous dilators, this is otherwise called as mixed dilator also. Sodium nitroprusside is the important drug which is used in hypertensive urgencies as well as emergencies. The other drugs, hydralazine, minoxidil and diazoxide, are arterial vasodilators. Vasodilators, they directly act on the vascular smooth muscle and relaxes the vascular smooth muscle, increases the breadth of the capillaries. In other terms, the total peripheral resistance of the capillaries are reduced and it increases the blood flow so that the blood pressure is reduced. The first drug under these vasodilators is hydralazine. It mainly acts as arterial vasodilator. The main mechanism of action of these hydralazine, it blocks the movement of calcium channels. As we all know, the movement of calcium channels in the vascular smooth muscle is responsible for the contraction. It stimulates the troponin release and it increases the interaction of myosin-actin contraction and it contracts the vascular smooth muscles. So that process is prevented by this hydralazine. It lowers the BP, but it is slow in onset. It can be given by oral as well as parenteral route. And like some other drugs, this hydralazine has to be given means the pharmacokinetic profile of hydralazine. That means the acetylation status of hydralazine has to be taken care of. Some of them are slow acetylators and some of them are fast acetylators. Accordingly, the dosage of hydralazine has to be decided. And it is excreted unchanged in urine and it is considered to be safe in renal patients also. And this is the mechanism. Actually, it acts as a vasodilator, decreases the PVR, that is peripheral vascular resistance of the blood vessels, and decreases the BP. By decreasing the BP, sodium and water retention occurs. That is, it is a reflex process. When the blood pressure is reduced, immediately reflex tachycardia occurs. With that, sodium and water retention occurs. This is the main reason why hydralazine is combined with diuretics. Always this hydralazine to be used in conjunction with beta blockers. Why with beta blockers? That means it produces reflex tachycardia. To decrease the tachycardia, to produce bradycardia, beta blockers are the drugs which reduces the tachycardia. So this hydralazine is used in conjunction with beta blocker to overcome the reflex tachycardia, as well as with the diuretics to overcome the fluid retention. That means sodium and water retention. So these are the two important things we have to remember regarding hydralazine. Acts on the calcium channels, produces relaxation, decreases the peripheral vascular resistance, decreases the blood pressure. In turn, it produces reflex tachycardia as well as sodium and water retention. Because of these reasons, hydralazine is combined with beta blockers as well as with diuretics. The unwanted effects of adrenaline regarding gastrointestinal system is nausea, vomiting and diarrhea. Other than that, as we have seen, reflex tachycardia is produced. In some patients, it produces intolerance as well as allergic symptoms. So this is about hydralazine, the first drug which comes under arteriolar vasodilator. The second one is minoxidil. This minoxidil is a drug. Other than as a vasodilator, we commonly heard about this drug as a hair growth stimulator. This minoxidil is available in the form of drops which can be applied in the scalp and which is found to be what increases the growth of the hair. It is directly acting arterial vasodilator. The mechanism of action is it opens up the potassium channels. As we all know, while blocking the calcium channels, at the same time by opening the potassium efflux also or potassium channels also, hyperpolarization occurs and then relaxation occurs in the vascular smooth muscles. So smooth muscle relaxation occurs. For hypertension, it is used as a reserve drug. And for treatment of alopecia, mainly it is used. It activates the gene that controls the protein of the hair shaft, and it is found to increase the hair growth. It is available as topically for 2% solution for the treatment of baldness. Mainly for this purpose, we are using minoxidil, and because of its adverse effects, sodium and water retention, edema and adverse effects, it is used as a reserve drug in hypertension. So this is about minoxidil. So in arterial vasodilators, we have seen about hydralazine, and the second one is minoxidil. The third one is diazoxide. It is similar to minoxidil. It also increases the potassium channel. That is, potassium efflux is increased and it produces vasodilatation. This diazoxide is mainly used in hypertensive emergencies. The adverse effects are similar to hydralazine and minoxidil. That means salt and water retention, palpitation, myocardial ischemia and hyperglycemia. So these are the unwanted effects of diazoxide. These are the three important drugs which are used as arterial dilators. Next comes this sodium nitroprusside. Sodium nitroprusside is otherwise called as mixed vasodilator. It acts as a rapidly acting arteriolar as well as venodilator. And this is the drug which is used in hypertensive emergencies as well as urgencies, mainly because it produces effects in 30 seconds. When it is given by intravenous route, within 30 seconds it produces the action. And but the main disadvantage of that is it is taken up by RBC and cyanide is produced. For long-term usage of this sodium nitroprusside is contraindicated. Maximum this drug can be used only for 3 days. How it acts? It decreases the PVR, that is peripheral vascular resistance is reduced, as well as cardiac output is reduced. Like nitrates, it also releases nitrous oxide and produces vasodilatation.